How's it going, everybody? It is Ethan or Uncoda, and we have made it to the big episode 100 here on Let's Build Twitter. I never thought we'd make it this far or this episode would last this long, but we're still chugging along. We actually are hopefully getting a little bit closer and closer to getting finished. That way we can move on to some new projects. Before we go ahead and get into this episode, I do want to remind y'all that our channel memberships are live. If you guys do want early access to every single video, as well as access to the private repository, make sure you go ahead and hit that below. Or if you just want to support the channel, that's always appreciated as well. So if you do want access to the private repo for Let's Build Twitter, be sure to actually go back into my channel, go into the community section and reply with your GitHub username. That way I can get you access. Also, I do want to go ahead and mention that I am live streaming every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 a.m. CST. I know it's early, but you can always catch back up. So let's hop into what we actually worked on today. And in this episode, we start out by creating a new component called Feed Post Creator. That will be the component that we use to send posts to the backend from the feed page. After the basic layout is squared away, we create all the icons we need to for the different options that Twitter gives you for creating a post. All of the SVG code is available in the description below in the assets folder. And then we go back into our post creator component we created previously and add in all of those SVG components that we needed to create for the component. As always, I'm Ethan Encoder, and let's hop straight into the development. So now we need to actually make the part that goes down here, which is kind of like the feed creator or the post creator box. And if you actually refresh, who knows what's going to pop up here? Probably something horrible. It looks like this. And then whenever you click on it, it changes to this. Whenever you type in it, it changes to this. So this is going to be primarily a lot of the work that goes into this. So if we come back into here, we can probably get rid of the top feed page. In the top feed bar, we're still going to need the feed and the feed CSS. So what we're going to go do now is go into our feed components, and I'll make a new folder, and I'm going to call this feed post creator. And then I'm going to make a new file, feed post creator.tsx, and a new file, feed post creator.css. So we're going to go ahead and lay it out first, and then we'll get the logic going. So we're going to go ahead and import React from React. I don't think we need anything else from this currently. I lied. We'll actually probably need to use ref. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab that in just to be safe. Go ahead and export const, and this is going to be feed post creator. And I'm calling it feed post creator because you're going to be able to make posts from other places. But this one is specifically for the feed, for the post, or no, oh my goodness, for the feed page, or the feed area, I should say. So that's why I'm calling it this. Go ahead and return. It will make a new div, the class name, and we'll call this equal to feed-post-creator. All right, so this is going to need a few things. First, we're going to have a link. And this is going to be a link to... And this should go to, I think, the person's homepage, basically the person's profile page. We're going to have an image with the class name equal to, and this is going to be feed-post-creator-pfp. And this is going to have an src equal to, and I'm going to copy and paste this, and this should be somewhere, or I should have this somewhere for you all, but this is just the generic profile picture. All right, so cool. And then what we're going to go and have is we're going to have a div class name equal to, and this is going to be called feed-post-creator-right. So it's going to be the right side basically. And in here we're going to have a div class name equal to, and this class name is going to be feed-post-creator-audience. And then this is going to say everyone. And then we're going to have to grab, everyone. And then we need a expand more. And this one is just expand more icon. Hopefully expand more just works. Expand more. Okay, that should be fine. We're going to have SX equal to, and then we're going to go ahead and say font size is going to be 22px. And hopefully this is, in fact, the correct Material UI. But if you have Material UI installed, it should be fine. It should work. So this is going to basically be a drop-down menu for deciding who can see your content. Then we're going to have our text area. This is where they're going to be able to go ahead and write their stuff. Class name equal to feed dash post dash creator dash inputs. It's going to have a placeholder, and it's just going to say what is happening. This is basically what Twitter has. So this is where we can go ahead and actually write our text. We'll have a new div, the class name. This will be feed dash post dash creator dash reply. And this is going to be another dropdown. And I don't know if we have this created. Globe SVG. We don't, and I might have skipped over this. We're going to need to make the globe SVG. So for now, I'm just going to put globe SVG. And we're going to have to put it in there. It's fine. The height is going to be equal to 14. The width is going to be equal to 14. And then our color is going to be equal to a string. That's going to be 1D, A1, F2. So it's going to be like a blue color, the Twitter blue. And we'll go ahead and add that in a second. And then this is just going to say everyone can reply. This is another drop-down menu that we're going to have to create. And we're going to have another div with a class, class name equal to, and this is going to be feed dash post dash creator dash bottom dash icons. And then this is going to say icons dot. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and comment this out for a time being so we can at least kind of see what's going on here before this breaks. But we're going to have to grab some more SVGs. Unfortunately, it is what it is. So there's our icons. And finally, we'll have a button, the class name equal to, and this is going to be equal to feed dash post dash creator. Creator dash post dash button. And this is just going to say post inside of it. So once again, what we'd want to do is throw this in here just so we could see it. So this is feed post creator. It doesn't take any props. So what we're looking like now is we got this. Doesn't look great, but we got to expand. This is going to look better. We'll have our icons. So obviously this needs styled up and everything. But first we're going to yoink some icons and create a few more icons, unfortunately. Now I'm going to open this up. And for the time being, I'm just going to keep the icons, the components, and SVGs open because we're going to need it. So I'm going to make a new file, and I'm just going to call this globe svg.tsx. And then we'll go ahead and import our SVG props from global interfaces. And then we'll go ahead and say export default function. And we're going to call this globe SVG, and this is going to take in props of SVG props like so, and then we're going to go and return the SVG. So I'm just going to go back to Twitter again. I'll try to post these for you all so you can have them, or you can just go on Twitter like me. So I'm going to go into the SVG. I'm going to go ahead and copy the element. I'm going to paste it in here. We're going to get rid of this class. We do not need it. Then we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to do this, and we're going to make it pretty. And unfortunately, we're going to have to do this for a few icons. There's not much we can do. So globe is, well, globe's not good to go because we're going to go ahead and say height equal to, and height is going to be equal to props.height. Our width is going to be equal to props.width. And then we're going to go ahead and go into our path, and we're going to say fill equal to, and if we have a color, we're going to say props.color question mark. If we have a color, it's going to be props.color. Otherwise, it'll just be black. So it's going to say 000. We could probably put black in there, but I want to put 000 in there. All right, now a new file, and this is going to be media svg.tsx. So once again, import our SVG props and export default function media SVG. And this is going to have our props, which is the SVG props. Return. And once again, we'll go back to Twitter. And I'm going to grab the media icon. So grab the SVG from media icon, copy the element, and paste it in there. So go ahead and get rid of our class and style. Do this, and just make it a little bit prettier. All right, so once again, we're going to have height equal to props.height. We're going to have our width equal to props.width. We're going to do the same thing with the color. So we're going to say fill equal to, we're going to say props.color. If there's a color, then it's going to be props.color. Otherwise, it's going to be just black. Okay, cool. Next, we need the GIF icon. So new folder, GIF, I guess GIF svg.tsx. Whoops, I didn't want to make a folder though. I want to make a file. New file, GIF svg.tsx. All right, so we'll import our svg props, export the default, and this is called GIF. Well, actually, we need to say function first. Function GIF svg props dot or props colon svg props and return. And now we'll grab the GIF part. So this one is the GIF one. Grab the svg and copy it and paste it. And then we'll get rid of the class and the style. And we'll clean this spacing up a little bit, like so. We'll do the same thing. So our height is going to equal to props.height. Whoops. Our width is going to be equal to props.width. And then finally, our fill is going to be equal to props.color question mark. If there's a color, it'll be props.color. Otherwise, it'll just be black. So 000. That one should be good. So now we need the poll icon. So new file, poll icon, I guess poll svg dot tsx. So import our svg props, export a default function, poll svg props, our svg props. And then we'll go ahead and return, and we'll grab the poll icon. So here is the polls icon. And where's the actual SVG? There it is. Copy our SVG. Paste it in there and clean it up. So we don't need style, we don't need class. Clean this up, and clean all this up. So now we'll go ahead and say height. It's going to be props.height. Our width equal to, whoops, props.width. If I could type. And then our fill equal to props.color. There's a color, it'll be props.color. Otherwise, it's going to be black once again. So we'll just default to 000. So poll should be good. After poll, we need emoji, new file, emoji, svg.tsx. So import our svg props, export a default function, and this is emoji svg. And we'll have our props, and this is svg props. Return. We'll grab our emoji svg. Oops. We only got a couple more, so it's okay. Grab our emoji svg. and paste it in here. Again, we don't need style or class. Clean this up a little bit. Path and whoops, path. G and SVG. Now the height equal to props.height. Dang it. And width equal to props.width. And we'll set up the fill again. So fill equal to props.color, question mark, props.color. And we'll go ahead and say otherwise black. Cool. Now we need the schedule icon. So new file, schedule svg.tsx. Import our svg props. Export a default function, and this is schedule svg, and this takes in props of svg props, and we'll go ahead and return. So we only have 2 more left, so it's not as bad as the other one, but still kind of annoying to have to do all of these. Some of these probably existed in mature UI, but it is what it is. So we'll return this. We'll get in the real ones. Copy all of this stuff, and this also makes it more dynamic even than the other one, mature UI. So it's fine. So height once again equal to props.height. Width is equal to props.width, and then our fill is equal to props.color, question mark, props.color, otherwise it'll be black. All right, and then the last one is location. So new file, location svg. I have no idea how to even enable this, so who knows if I'm even going to figure that out, but it is what it is. Import svg props from, I forget where this even comes from. I think it comes from utils / global interfaces, and export default function. This one is called location svg. Sure, I spelled something wrong in here, so we'll see what happens. svg props, return. We'll get our location icon, final one, so location one, and copy the svg and paste it in there. Get rid of all the styling and class that we don't need. Got our G, got our path, G, and svg. And finally, we'll go ahead and say height equal to props.height. Our width is equal to props.width. And our fill is equal to props.color. If the props.color is working, props.color. Otherwise, it'll be black. All right, so that is the painful part done. You get a globe, a media, GIF, all of these different SVGs we just created. And we go ahead and close out of this. So now our feed post creator, once again, we're trying to create this area right here that has all these icons and stuff. So that's why it took so much. So what we can go ahead and do is we're going to have to change a bunch of stuff. But first off, we can definitely get rid of this globe SVG and go ahead and import it. So now you'll be able to see on our footer, we have everyone can reply and the globe and everything. So that's all good. And then inside the icons, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and have a div class name equal to, and this is going to be feed dash post dash creator dash icon dash bg, because each one other than the disabled one, which is location, has a background basically. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we end up changing the location one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here we have each of our icons. So first one is media. SVG. And this is going to have a height of 20 and a width of 20. And it's going to have the color equal to, and it's going to be the one ADF yada yada yada. So copy and paste that. So that's our media SVG. Then after media is GIF, so GIF SVG. And I'm just going to copy and paste this to save a little bit of time. And then after GIF is going to be poll, so poll SVG, and copy and paste this. I like doing this better than SX anyway, so I kind of like having these custom ones. The next one is emoji. Emoji SVG. Again, we'll copy and paste the height and width. And then we have our schedule SVG. And we need our height and width. And then finally, we have our location. And I think we go back later on and change location because it's supposed to be not... Well, actually, just kidding. We do an RGBA on this one. And I think that we end up changing it because the background isn't supposed to hover. But I'll look into that a little bit later. RGBA of 29, 161, 242, and 0.5, 242. Now, keep in mind that none of this is styled yet. So if we take a look at it, you're going to see all of our icons there. You're going to have a post, and it's looking like everything is there. But we need to style it, and we also need to make the feed post creator actually work like it's supposed to, because whenever you type on Twitter, you hit enter, it goes down like this and up and all that stuff. So we also want to act like that and make sure that this is going dark or whatever. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, please stick around for the next episode by hitting that subscribe button. You'll know exactly when it comes out, especially at that bell icon. If you did enjoy the content today, please sure to leave a thumbs up. If you did enjoy it, leave a thumbs down. Either way, it helps out with the algorithm all the same. And finally, if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, make sure you leave a comment down below. With that being said, I appreciate you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.